we were going to do, for the How to Art feature this week, we were going to do rubber band perspective. So let me show you this real quick. This is a really neat trick. It won't take very long, and I learned this from 5 Minute Crafts. They have a YouTube video, they have a website, they have a Facebook page. They're amazing. 5 Minute Crafts. When this goes on the YouTube, there'll be links on the description below. And I want you to tell me about your favorite 5 Minute craft that they've done. There was another one at one time, 1 minute journal prompts or something like that. It was really cool. It's where I got the idea to use a mirror to draw my portrait the first time. So 5 Minute Crafts, like I said, when this goes on the YouTube, there'll be links in the description below. But what this is rubber band perspective, and perspective is what shows you the vantage point from where you're looking. You know, when you look down the railroad tracks, how it looks like the railroad tracks are coming together, and the cross beams get closer and closer together until they look like just one solid dark color going down to the end where they meet in the point in the end. But you know they don't meet in the point on the end because you follow them and they never meet. And you can see the tree that they're next to where they meet, but you get to that tree and they don't meet, so you know they don't. Well, that's just perspective. That's your two eyes aiming at the same point, bringing everything together. So when you look at stuff, you look at stuff stereoscopically. You've got two eyes. Your two eyes are focused on one point, and everything around it is going to that one point. So you have 1 point perspective, and you have 2 point perspective, and you have multiple point perspective. And the problem with all that is that when you start throwing all that other stuff on there, it becomes too much information on a drawing for me. Lots of people do it. There's people that put boxes out there and they show all the different flaps and all the different kinds of perspective. And that's cool, but it's too much information, because when you focus on something, you really only focus on a spot about the size of your fist. And everything else is information that your brain fills in around it. So, for instance, you've known somebody for 100 years, and you see them every day, 10 minutes a day, every day, your entire life. And one day, instead of seeing them at Walmart, you see them at a concert. You're at a concert that you never would have expected them to go to, never even occurred to you that they would have enjoyed going to it. But you walk into that concert and you see them there. But you don't see them in your fist size area of focus. You see them just off to the side of it, close enough that you can make out the distinction of their face, but just off to the side of it, so that that's not the center focus of what you're looking at. So, because that's all you can really focus on is that part right there, just about that big. No matter where you're looking, that's about what you're focused on. And so they're just outside of that, and they're in an area you don't recognize. You wouldn't expect to see them, so your brain doesn't fill the information in, and you don't recognize them, and you've known them literally your whole life. That happens because all you are really focused on is right here, and everything else is being put in from your brain. So that's why when you look at something stereoscopically, it looks like it's coming together. When you look at something with your two eyes, it looks like it's coming together. And when you look at it this way, it's going that way. And when you look at it that way, it's going that way. When you look at it that way, it's going that way. When you look at it that way, it's going that way. So that's perspective. And single point perspective, let me show you. Let me start with this rubber band stuff. It's pretty cool. So here's this rubber band perspective. I'm gonna show you. I just did a quick little just a quick little jot just to see what I thought about it, and I'm going to show you how I have that set up. I simply have the rubber band just taped to the back of the book. That's all it is. I have the rubber band taped to the back of the book, and all you have to do is you have to determine where you want your horizon line, that where the earth meets the sky. Determine where you want your horizon line, and put your rubber band at the horizon line. This is how I understand it to work. Hey, Green Glams, this is how I understand it to work. Put your rubber band at the horizon line wherever you want your earth to meet the sky. I'm going to go dead center of the page just for this demonstration. And so let's get to a blank piece of paper. Here's a blank piece of paper. I just happen to have a blank piece of paper right here. And so we're going to put this rubber band across this blank piece of paper. We want to make sure that we're not pulling it at an angle, that it is in fact in line with its tape, because what I don't want to do is pull it out of its tape or off of its tape. So and make sure that it's in line with its tape. And on the 5-minute crafts demo, they actually use stick pins to stick the tape to anchor the rubber band down, and that's probably a better way to do it. I don't have stick pins. I looked for bull clips. I didn't have bull clips. I have tape. So shake what your mama gave you. Anyway, so here we go. If we want to do 1-point perspective, then you're looking at something dead on in front of you, and it is vanishing to the back to a vanishing point. So here's your vanishing point. In this setup, here's your vanishing point, and you can move your vanishing point over if you want to. You can move your vanishing point over so that you're off to one side, however you want to do it. And so let me demo this for you real quick. I have this ink pen, and I'm using a paper clip around the rubber band to pull the rubber band in the direction that I want it to go. So let's start with let's do the simple thing. Everybody does a box, okay? So here's a box. We're going to just draw. I'm just going to draw what might be a square, right? Now we've moved our vantage point. We've moved our vanishing point off to the side just a little bit. So this line is going to be almost in line with that. This line is going to go that way. This line would go that way. And this line would go that way. And so if you wanted to finish out this box, you just come out here to whatever length you wanted to make it the box you want. And you make your horizontal and vertical lines to meet it, right? And I'm going to pull that out of the way. And let's hit it with a magic marker to really fill it in. What if let's do the box? That's the box a little bit off to the side with the vanishing point just a little bit off to the side. Let's move the vanishing point back to the middle where it's supposed to be. Now let's do it again from the middle. If I do it again from the middle, let's say I do the same box. I'm trying to make the marks dark enough so that you can see them on the camera. So I'm going to do the same box. I'm going to use the same anchor, the same paper clip, pulling the rubber band around like I want it so that the sides line up with my vanishing point, right? So I'm going to do that. Well, I'm going to be more careful. I'm going to do that. I don't want to push the rubber band. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to line up with this corner. And I'm going to do that. And you want to use the same side. So like if this side of the rubber band is your vanishing point, then that's the side of the rubber band you need to use. And I'm going to come down here to this corner, and I'm going to come down here to this corner. And if I'd made that box a little bigger, it'd be a little easier to see. So now we'll go back in and put in the magic marker so you can see that it is in perspective, in single point perspective. It's actually still too much that way, isn't it? So I mean, it's a pretty neat trick. But here's the really cool stuff. Move it around this way, and now you can be in 2-point perspective. Because if you look at it, we moved it one way or the other, right? So if you look at it, and here's our horizon line. Make sure our rubber band is even where it's supposed, where we wanted it to be. So if you take your rubber band now and you come up here to this corner, this line is in perspective. See how it's in perspective to your vanishing point. And this line should also be in perspective to your vanishing point. So let's draw another box up here. Well, no, 2-point perspective would mean you're looking at it at an angle. You're not looking at it dead on. So here's the front corner. Can't talk, Harding. So see how I put it in full-on 2-point perspective for you. Now, here's the beauty of this rubber band. This is what made this rubber band, this is what I thought made this rubber band really cool. I can do this all over the page. I can put a square, I can put a box over here, and I can say, okay, well, it's pretty close to the horizon line, but I'm going to do it anyway. I can put the box over here, and I can draw this side of it, and I can draw this side of it, and this side of it, and this side of it, and sorry, got confused. And this side of it, and this side of it. And so there's our box. Same box in perspective. I didn't have to move anything. So if I wanted to do a row of buildings, if I wanted to do a whole street scene, if I wanted to do all the windows, all the doors, I just move the rubber band and draw the line along the edge of the rubber band. And I just thought that was neat as snot, so I thought I'd share it with you. Right? So that is this week's $2 tutorial, how to art rubber band perspective. And I'm going to reach out and I'm going to thank 5 Minute Crafts for having this on their website so that I could share it with you. So that is the 5 minute. That is the $2 tutorial. $2 free. We're going to come up with a good name for this. Free $2 Tuesday tutorial. How to art. There might be rum in my coffee. Okay. You need to subscribe to this channel. You need to subscribe to this channel. You need to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the Artistic Biker now. Click the buttons.